The weather was brought to you in part by the Water and Sewage Authority. Water, use what you need.
Later, but we also have other things are happening throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed for the Northern Hemisphere, spring begins. Meanwhile, we have a bigger and a brighter moon across Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed much of the Earth. In fact, we have our full moon, which is now quite close to the Earth. It's passing closest, which is called your lunar perigee, and at this time it tends to be 7% bigger than the average full moon. And then on the opposite scale, once the full moon is well away from the Earth, that is in apogee, basically it's now 14% bigger than its minimum. So basically, you will definitely notice the rather large disk out there across Trinidad and Tobago as you go overnight from about 9:45 all the way through until sunrise tomorrow. Now, across Trinidad and Tobago, we have been seeing just a bit of cloudiness coming through. We obviously have the Saharan dust at the surface. We have some high-level clouds passing in, all part of a jet stream there. There's a possibility further towards the north of trough for coming through, so you could be seeing a bit of cloudiness, maybe drifting from the Leeward Islands coming down to Barbados, but it will take its time to reach us. So that basically means that we'll still see mostly dull, hazy skies as you go through your morning in Tobago. Just occasional clouds are expected across Castara, coming down towards Plymouth, and eventually into Trinidad as well, just only passing clouds as you go through your morning. So dull and hazy start across most parts of northern Trinidad, central areas, southern areas as well. Bearing in mind that the Saharan dust does have obviously pollutants as well as pollen allergies in there as well, so definitely be mindful about that as you go through your day. Take the necessary precautions if you do have to go out, obviously maybe even a mask, maybe on the extreme side, but all of that helps as you go through this day and definitely encountering that Saharan dust. So temperature wise, looking at a cool 22 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 24 in Tobago, 32 will be the high. Another warm day in Trinidad, 30 expected in Tobago. Not much is set to change through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Still quite warm, still quite dusty and hazy, but in fact there could be a dense area of more dust coming through possibly on Saturday, so be mindful about that if you do have asthma or pollen allergies. Heading offshore, those east-southeasterly winds are now 15 knots, could be getting up to 20 knots by the time we get to Friday. That will introduce some sea spray, 2-meter wind waves likely out in the Atlantic, northeasterly swells of 8 seconds, and you have your low tide at 10:30 a.m. and then your high tide at 4:45 in the afternoon. Across the rest of the region, it's mostly settled. There's a bit of cloudiness drifting into the Leeward Islands there, up towards the north. There's an area of low pressure hanging around into the Bahamas. That will likely bring a cool front. Definitely some showers expected there, but the Saharan dust remains across the eastern Caribbean. So we start our tour then, heading into Havana. Just a bit brighter, 25 degrees Celsius, and a bit of sunshine there. Mostly sunny for Kingston at 31, and then out towards the Leeward Islands, we will introduce a few showers, a few patchy clouds as well. Down towards the south, there's still some Saharan dust hanging around for Grenada. Thick haze expected there, as well as into Georgetown. Highs of 31 degrees Celsius under some dull sunshine. But for us, dusty haze, dull sunshine, still feeling quite hot. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.
The weather was brought to you in part by the Water and Sewage Authority. Water, use what you need.